The September Parks and October Parks and Recreation meeting is now in session. Call to order. Mr. Sharrett, can you do the roll call for us, please?
Certainly. Wade Pollock,
Here.
Peter Lake,
Here.
Joseph Catrombone,
Here.
Rose Vanicolo. Caitlin Foy is not here. Do we know, is she coming? Okay.
She did not text me. So we'll have a moment of silence. And we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The door open? I thought I heard. Item 4.1, consider approving the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Motion was made by member Catrombone and seconded by member Vanicola. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Item 5, public comment for agenda items only. There is no one from the public. Item 6.1, consider approving the minutes from September 4th, 2025 meeting. Do we have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Motion was made by member Vanicola and seconded by member Lake. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Item 7.1, Public Works update. Mr. Sharretts, please.
Certainly, just a few items of example of the things that we did during the month of September. We did continue to visit all the parks and the trails 3 times a week for inspection and trash cleanup and those kind of things. That includes not only the main park system, but at least once a week we get around to the other township properties, such as, for example, the historical sites and some of the open space properties and things like that. We make sure to get to them as well. The landscapers continued weekly to cut the grass at the trails and at all the parks. The township staff handles the meadow preserve and the trails around there and all the landscaping at the preserve. We were happy to participate at Newby Park with the Rock Snake project. I know that that's going to be a later agenda item to go through, so I won't give a lot of detail on that. Public Works built a shed for the Gable Park next to the Public Works building, which is going to be where the various sports teams are going to be able to put their equipment. It'll eliminate the need for the job box that's currently at the ball field. Part of the reason that came up was one of the other ball teams also wanted to put a job box, and the soccer association wanted to put a job box. So it would have become a very busy area with the boxes for storage. So we're giving everybody one area that they could put their equipments and flags and bases, et cetera, into. One of the benefits is that it cleans up that entrance area that we're hoping at some point in the future to really do something nice with, and it gets rid of the box with rust on it that's kind of there and is very noticeable. I'll share with this group that the structural rehabilitation project at the Bartram Bridge is getting ready to move forward. Again, as we usually say, the Bartram Bridge isn't a park per se, but it's an area that recreation takes place and people visit. that's publicly available. And so it's good for you to know. The structural work is probably going to begin in December. We had the pre-con meeting with the contractor that's going to be doing the work, and it's all timber work at this point. So previously we did the stone repair base work. Now we're getting into the structural timber work on the bridge, which was built in 1860. The last thing I'll share with you from the park and the Public Works report is that the Ellis Preserve Harrison Apartments staff, the management staff and the maintenance staff there, they traditionally do a service day, a community service day, 1 day a year, and they reached out to Newtown Township about doing something along some of the trails. So what they did was they went along the Goshen Trail. And they worked with Public Works as they did this. They went along the Goshen Trail and all the new trees there. The plan from the last couple of years, they weeded them all. And then they came over and they weeded all of the trees at the Bishop Hollow Trail, which were planted a few years ago. So that's 75 trees that are over there. They did all of them. And they did a really good job. It was a nice day for them. They spent all day doing that on the two trails. And they did quality work. It wasn't a quick, do that and move on. They knew what they were doing and they did a good job. We had a tree person look at it afterwards and said, no, they did everything, spot on. So it was a nice maintenance thing for the park system. And that is my report.
Thank you, Mr. Sharretts. And just for the record, Member Foy was here at 7:04. So when you say they did they weeded the tree area at Bishop Hollow, I mean this behind us here or over here?
So across from Ellis Avenue, that whole area where the trail starts on Bishop Hollow, and there are, I think there's 75 trees over there that are new trees that are in cages. And when I say new, some of them are about 4 years old at this point now. Other ones have been planted more recently. And so they did all of them. And there was a whole group. There was 15 people.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds about right. They were really taking care to make sure they did it correctly and really doing a nice job of cleaning up the area. And it looks so much better after they got done. It's hard to believe. I think we did it, 3 times this summer, that cleaning up, but it's just the weeds just keep coming back, but they just did a great job.
Great. Then they were residents of Harrison Estate or?
No, they're their management staff and maintenance staff. So the group that runs the Harrison Apartments over at Ellis Preserve, and I think they do other work in Ellis Preserve as well. But they were, they came. They were maintenance people. They were the office people. They were the salespeople, and they were workers.
Right.
Yeah.
So, item 8.1, review installation. So, Joe, what did you think of the Rock Snake project and the whole?
I thought it was awesome. Such a great turnout. Everyone was really high spirits. A lot of kids were there too, so
That was great.
and it was cool to see all the art. That was really fantastic. You guys did a great job with arranging all of that.
I think we were all there, and Rose and Rob were there. Did Rob enjoy himself?
Appreciated the town, Harry and Lewis and
John.
And John,
yeah,
right?
And laying all the rebar in there. I mean, they were workers. They're good workers.
And they dug the hole.
Yep.
The day before, did an amazing job. As always, nothing we do is without Public Works help doing most of the grunt work for us.
Like I said during my report, we're very happy to be participants in the project that you put together, and it was, it was great to be part of it, and it was great to be able to interact with the art teachers and the children that came and the families that came. It was a great day.
And the, two of the four art teachers were there, Jill Wiley and Kim Dragone, who is now at the junior high. They were there.
Oh.
And some of their kids actually showed up just because they were in the area or live in the area, and they showed up and helped. Originally, we thought it was just gonna be adults, but when the kids showed up, they did a good part of the work. And Galantino supplied the rocks for us free of charge. The township picked them up last year. Brian Cullen, a contractor, construction company in Newtown Square, provided, wheelbarrows and labor that got the cement to the hole and coached us on how to do the work. Harry and I had met with that company at their yard. Brian Cullen. Construction. So we met at their yard, Harry and I, and Brian and his guys set up a trial area where they had wet cement. We sewed similar sized rocks into the cement and figured out how to get that done before we showed up, and just did it haphazardly. So again, kudos to Harry. I think he stopped there on his own time. And then there was Marinelli Concrete Supply. They're the ones who brought the truck in, supplied the concrete itself. And they're in Upper Darby. Galantino's is in Springfield. So, and it was just great seeing the whole community event. Yes, everybody involved.
And I should note that Harry today was procuring the clear coat that's going to go on the top. He wanted to make sure that we had at least a week to let everything cure. But then they'll make sure it's all clean, and then they'll be ready to put the clear coat on top of the whole project.
And then item 8.1, the second item there is discussion of possible action regarding a dedication ceremony. I don't know that we would need a ceremony, but I think it was Kathy Cavalier, who was actually at the event, suggested putting some kind of marker down that explains what the project is, and the teachers' names again. And the elementary schools, I guess, or something like that. I don't know what anyone's thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that would be nice. George, you had mentioned that too, to have just a sign to say, this is where the idea came from, and acknowledgements section to all the people that
The companies
the companies,
and the 4 art
teachers,
teachers.
yeah, public work.
That
I think it's a great idea. Give credit where credit's due.
Screenshot of it.
would that be all right with the township or?
I mean, I think we need to clear it with the board, but yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I think that anytime we do anything that we put on a park that's a permanent, we should have it cleared with the board.
Great idea, Wade.
Do
was-
you want me to draft it while I'm doing? Have all the information.
yeah,
Sample.
if you have time, yeah. Just
No, it's
send it over to, I guess, Mara. Is that,
Send it to, because it's a board issue,
Final draft.
yeah.
Okay.
Send it to George, and then George and I will work to get it for the board for approval.
So item 8.2, discussion and possible action regarding the painting of crosswalks at Drexel Lodge Park. So I was at an event there a few weeks ago, and every time I'm there, I see people coming down from the upper field, going down the pavilion, and it's just, you really can't, you don't know that there's, if you're new to the park, you don't know that there's a crosswalk there. And so I think we had discussed it previously, maybe putting signs up, but I think it's a very busy area with signs already. So I don't know what, I know the township has the equipment to paint crosswalks, and they have the paint already. It would just be a matter of labor. I don't know if that's something for safety purposes we would need or not.
So and again, I wanted to hear, because I saw it on the agenda, but I wasn't 100% sure what the request was, or, you know, where people are walking from one place to another place that we would be painting the crosswalks. You know, it is a parking lot. If you have a crosswalk, you want to make sure there's a destination on both sides. So I guess on one side, I could understand if the destination is the stairway to the upper field. I'm just not sure where the other side of the crosswalk is going, because when you come down the stairs, you're basically going into the parking lot so that you can go to a car or something. So I'm not sure. I want to make sure I know where the crosswalk is supposed to be taking somebody to.
Go to the
One goes to the pavilion, one just empties out in general to the parking lot, and then there's another one by the bocce court, but you can pretty much see that that's people coming down from there. The other one has shrubs that kind of hides, especially smaller children. So maybe just the one between, that comes from the upper.
Because I mean, if we put if we were to put a crosswalk in, and again, I'm not 100% envisioning where I have it end. But if I do put a crosswalk in, I'm going to need to make sure that I put the signage that needs to go with crosswalks. So the area around the pavilion, which does already have a watch children sign, will require 2 to 4 additional signs like that.
Oh, you would have to put a sign in if you put a crosswalk in?
Yes.
You're supposed,
So
yeah.
why don't you let George and I go out and take a look? If it's an issue of sight of somebody coming down, it may be better that we remove a shrub to open up the sight line. You know, if that's the issue, we can go out and take a look. Or if you want to meet us out there one
Yeah,
day and
yeah.
kind of explain where the issue is. Because we want to make sure, you know, you start putting crosswalks in and you don't meet certain things, you actually create more liability. And so we want to make sure that we've done what we need to do. And so,
Okay.
but it may be what I think I heard you saying is that we're not seeing the kids come down. It really may be just a matter of expanding the visual sight there, and we may be able to do that by trimming back or removing a shrub or whatever. I don't know, but let's get out and let's see exactly where you're talking about so that we address it
Okay,
the best way we can.
all right.
Let me know when that. If I am.
I mean, obviously during the event, we could put a red cone kind of, you know, just you know, no matter what's going on. But then is somebody going to be doing that every time that somebody's out there? I think if we can do something that's more permanent, that's a better, it's better overall.
Item 8.3, discussion and possible action regarding the painting of mini murals and parking spots on township property. So, Cardinal O'Hara does some work behind the building where the seniors paint parking spots. I think they're actually their parking spots. And
Delaware
it's done every year.
Delaware
And
County Christian School.
So Peter sent me a picture of one that was, Hey Jude, Beatles,
The Beatles.
45.
Yeah, the Beatles 45. It's really great.
In a park. So. Yeah, I don't know that we want to do it somewhere that's real visible in the township for a starter project, but, Greer Park. There's not a whole lot of activity there. I don't think there's a lot of,
It would work well.
how about the spots where the township spots are up front?
Up there. I don't know how
Is it-
good the paint's. It's not like it's.
No,
Up
like,
again,
yeah.
It's like. I don't know. Up a-
You want to check it out and then
Yeah,
we'll keep it on the agenda and
yeah,
maybe.
because if you paint it, wouldn't it have to be like asphalt?
If this was a project that was going to be done, then yes, that you would want smooth asphalt. There's probably some treatment we could do depending on the base condition that would make it better. But again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. It's a discussion about a possibility. But if there was an area, there's probably some things we could do to make it better.
And if anybody wants to check out any other spots,
That wouldn't be terribly noticeable, I don't think.
it might add to the point. We haven't done anything in there
Yeah.
in forever.
There's 2 spots for township vehicles.
There's currently only 2 signs up, but yeah, there used to be more. And what we're checking right now is whether it's supposed to be 4 or whether it's supposed to be 6. And I'm not sure on that. I know, well, township space is available specifically for the park. So it's definitely 4, it's possibly 6. I'm trying to research that, but we do need to get signage back up on all 4 spots, if not the 6 spots, but there did used to be more signs, they disappeared.
I don't believe the neighbors would.
Don't the businesses during the day park over there? Construction guys.
Most of the lot is utilized by the construction company, but there are a number of spaces, and again, it's either 4 or 6, and I'm checking on that, they're not supposed to park in, that are dedicated for park usage. And then on the weekends, as many people can park in there as want to, but during the workday, I think there's an agreement that they have the majority of the use of the lot, and then the park has 4 to 6.
Thank you.
And I believe if somebody parks in one of the other spots and uses the park, that's not a problem. It's just that there are guaranteed number of spots for township visitors and residents to use for the park, is how I understand the contract.
They're for people who are using the park. Well, if signs were for like park vehicles.
No, the intent is for, if you go to the park, you get to park at that location. And so there's an agreement with the neighboring company. They maintain the parking lot. And because for that benefit, for that, providing that service, they get the benefit of allowing their company employees to park there. And so, but the part of the agreement was that there was a certain number of spots that were dedicated for residents to use or visitors to the park to use, no matter what time of the day or night it was. Well, day, because the park's closed at night, but my point being is, if it's on the weekend, there's way more spots. And during the week, if somebody pulled in and parked in another spot, they wouldn't be asked to leave. It's just that they have the opportunity to park there, that business during the day. And that goes back, what, to the 90s?
At least to the.
At least to the 90s.
And again, we would need supervisor approval for that once we figure out the logistics. It might be that we go to Cardinal O'Hara or the Christian School and bring the pictures back to the supervisors and let them pick the best ones that they think, and we'll go to those students and ask them if they'll replicate it, or we just have a whole new initiative. But thought it's something we could throw out there.
The ones at Delaware County seniors, so they'd be in college. Or contact some senior high art teachers.
Or maybe you can contact the Christian School and have them.
Yeah.
So since we've never used them.
There's some really good artists at the Christian School. I've seen some of their work.
Yeah, the one Peter sent was very nice.
Yeah, they're all different kinds, very encouraging.
Actually, I think they do some parking lot painting there as well,
Yeah.
like parking spot painting.
So they would have the experience that we wouldn't need to worry about. Bring it with them. You know the art teacher there?
Don't. In there. Got the magazine, but I can find out.
Discussion, item 8.4, discussion and possible action regarding rescheduled summer library youth series visit to the Public Works Department. It's proposed for October 20th. George and Angela, I went over and saw Angela and she contacted George, and it looks like that date is probably the best. I believe that's October 20th is a Tuesday.
It's a Monday,
Oh, Monday,
and
okay.
I think it did work best for her.
Monday, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What time?
10, I think.
I think she usually has them at 10 o'clock,
most
yeah.
of the series are 10. And so, the older kids would be at school, but most of her programs are for children that aren't in school yet. A lot of them are actually homeschool children. And I think that they attend most of our youth series program in the early summer as well.
Not the same. This is not the same as the open house that came out last time.
No, so we decided to just kind of, I think, bag everything else because it's just a short period of time to get everything together. So we kind of just decided, let's just go with what we did last year or the year before, Public Works. When it was extremely hot one day, in October being a lot cooler for this specific visit.
If I remember right, some of the previous discussions were looking to have something on a Saturday.
Yes.
And there was more. I think Angela had found that was going to be more challenging for her in getting the groups of children that would be able to come to it. And then we started looking at the logistics of like the ball fields being in use and other things going on, and parking around here gets really tricky. She actually had said, is there any chance we could do it on a Monday? And this date happened to be open for, things that she does, like she fills up Mondays with these kind of things. And so it worked. And I said, if it works for Wade and the rest of Park and Rec, we can do it then, no problem.
So is everyone okay with that date?
What time?
10 o'clock, Monday, October 20.
Yeah.
I can be there. We don't necessarily all need to be there. It's probably 2 groups of 20, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it follows the same format and timeline of all the other summer series ones, which is when this normally would have been. It's she does do signups for it so that we know how many people are coming. And then we have a little program based on that number.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I know you guys all work and Peter and I don't. Our wives are happy to get us out of the house. So I'll be there. Can you make it, Peter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Item 8.5, discussion about Parks and Recreation support, a firehouse trunk or treat event in October. I sent a request into Mara for the township has to fill out some form for the firehouse for all the groups that will be in attendance. So Mara's taking care of that, so that should be done. We did it again. We did it last year. I think Caitlin and I were there. this past year, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think
That's what I,
was
4 to 7.
4 to 7.
25th.
So if anybody wants to come, you know,
I'll be
there.
Like the 5:30.
okay.
Like the first.
And we did get our banner, so that'll be our
That's
first
awesome.
official
That's great.
use of the banner there. Last year, we felt like we were the redheaded stepchild of Newtown Square.
Won them over with our personality.
We bringing candy or how?
Yeah, I usually get a big bag. If anyone else wants to bring candy,
Yeah.
they can.
Okay.
I'll bring
I
some.
think we ran out,
Sure did.
there's a lot of kids there. It was surprising.
It was nonstop. There's for the full
Yeah.
length, yeah.
And a lot of the other committees are there. EAC will be there,
The library,
library, that's right. Also, was the Historic Society there?
yeah.
Do they move the trucks out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll-
Were you there last year?
I guess I missed you guys. I
Oh,
was there later.
and the kids could go on the trucks or
Yeah,
around.
they
Yeah.
were able to water too.
Yeah, they had the hose outside. Yeah.
So item 9, old business, we have none, public comment, there's no one here. Does anyone have something they want to add for next month or anything in the future? So we are adjourned.